Well, folks, in times of political upheaval, health often becomes the silent casualty. As the new US administration's second term rolls out a series of aggressive policy reversals, executive orders, and sweeping government reforms, Americans are not only facing instability in their jobs, finances, and communities, but also their mental and physical well-being. Buckle up, because this time, we're going on a wild ride through the chaotic world of policy whiplash. Remember all those environmental protections we fought for? Gone. Affordable healthcare? See you later. It's enough to give anyone a migraine, and unfortunately the headache doesn't stop there. This isn't just about disagreeing with political decisions anymore. This is about the very real impact these sudden shifts have on our health, our wallets, and our communities. From the stress of losing essential services to the fear of economic collapse, the consequences of this political turmoil are hitting us where it hurts. And hey, remember how much fun it was to say Infrastructure Week sarcastically? Well, get ready for Public Health Crisis Week, Education Meltdown Week, and Immigration Crackdown Week, because this administration is serving up a whole buffet of chaos. So grab your antacids and your comfort snacks, because we're diving deep into the health hazards of government chaos. And trust me, you're going to need all the coping mechanisms you can get. One of the first casualties of this new era of efficiency? The very government agencies we rely on. Trump, in his infinite wisdom, decided to put Elon Musk in charge of streamlining government operations. Yeah, the guy who's obsessed with Mars is now calling the shots on Earth. What could go wrong? Turns out a lot. We're talking massive layoffs across the board. Teachers are losing their jobs, leaving kids in overcrowded classrooms. Homeland Security is gutted, making us more vulnerable to actual threats. The scientists who keep our air and water clean shown the door. So, what happens when the people who protect our food, our environment, and our safety are suddenly out of a job? The answer is simple: our health suffers. We're talking increased stress, anxiety, and depression. People are turning to unhealthy coping mechanisms like substance abuse. And with fewer resources available, getting help becomes even harder. But hey, at least Elon's happy, right? He's probably too busy building rockets to notice the chaos he's unleashed. Remember the good old days when you could plan for the future without having a panic attack? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Because thanks to Trump's erratic trade wars and tax policies that make as much sense as a chocolate teapot, the economy is about as stable as a Jenga tower, built by a toddler. One minute, the stock market's soaring higher than a SpaceX rocket. The next, it's plummeting faster than Trump's approval ratings. This constant uncertainty is enough to make anyone reach for the Pepto-Bismol, and the side effects are brutal. We're talking sleepless nights, heart palpitations, and enough anxiety to fuel 1,000 conspiracy theories. Retirement savings are evaporating faster than a puddle in Death Valley, and people are racking up credit card debt just to afford groceries. The worst part, the people who are hit hardest are the ones who can least afford it. Low-income families, seniors living on fixed incomes, and people with disabilities are bearing the brunt of this economic roller coaster. So, while the wealthy might be able to weather the storm, everyone else is left clinging to the wreckage. Remember Trump's obsession with building a wall? Well, he may not have gotten his concrete monument to xenophobia, but that hasn't stopped him from making life a living hell for immigrant communities. We're talking ICE raids, family separations, and a deportation force that makes the Empire's stormtroopers look like cuddly teddy bears. Imagine living in constant fear that you or your loved ones could be snatched away at any moment. That's the reality for millions of immigrants under this administration. Children are being traumatized, families are being torn apart, and communities are living in a state of perpetual terror, and the health consequences are devastating. Immigrants are afraid to seek medical care, even for life-threatening conditions, because they fear being detained or deported. Chronic illnesses are going untreated, mental health issues are skyrocketing, and the entire healthcare system is strained to the breaking point. This isn't just cruel, it's a public health disaster in the making, but hey, at least Trump can sleep soundly in his White House bed, right? Oh, wait. Section 5, Mind over Matter, taking care of your mental health. Okay, so we've covered the bad news, and frankly, it's enough to make anyone want to crawl under their weighted blanket and never come out. But before you surrender to despair, remember this: you're not alone. Millions of people are struggling right now, and taking care of your mental health is more important than ever. Think of it like this: your brain is like a car engine. If you keep running it on empty, eventually it's going to break down. So, how do you keep your mental engine running smoothly in the midst of chaos? First, acknowledge that it's okay to not be okay. These are stressful times, and feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or just plain exhausted is a normal response. Don't beat yourself up for struggling. Give yourself permission to feel your feelings. Second, find healthy coping mechanisms that work for you, whether it's meditation, exercise, spending time in nature, or just curling up with a good book. Make time for activities that bring you joy and help you de-stress. Third, don't be afraid to ask for help. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, or mental health professional. There's no shame in seeking support, and it could make all the difference. Section 6. Finding your footing. Securing financial stability. Let's be real. Taking care of your mental health is a lot harder when you're worried about how you're going to put food on the table or keep a roof over your head. So, while self-care is crucial, it's equally important to address the very real financial anxieties that are plaguing so many people right now. The good news is there are resources available to help you navigate these turbulent economic waters. Start by reaching out to your local community center, social services agency, or non-profit organization. They can connect you with programs that offer financial assistance, job training, food security, and other vital resources. Next, take a hard look at your budget and see where you can cut back. This might mean making some tough choices, like downsizing your living situation, finding a roommate, or putting off non-essential purchases. Remember, every little bit helps, and even small changes can make a big difference over time. Finally, don't give up hope. This economic downturn won't last forever, and with a little ingenuity and a lot of perseverance, you can weather the storm and come out stronger on the other side. Section 7. Stronger together, community action and support. Here's the thing about chaos: it thrives in isolation. When we feel disconnected from each other, it's easier to succumb to fear, anxiety, and despair. But when we come together as a community, we tap into a powerful force for resilience and hope. Remember the old saying, "It takes a village." Well, that's never been truer than it is today. We need to support each other, lift each other up, and remind each other that we're not alone in this fight. Join a local advocacy group, volunteer at a food bank, or simply check in on your neighbors, especially those who might be struggling. Small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, creating a wave of compassion and solidarity that can help us overcome even the toughest challenges. Section 8, a call for change policy recommendations. Now, I know what you're thinking, John, this is all well and good, but what about the bigger picture? How do we fix this mess? Well, folks, that's where we need to get political. We need to demand better from our elected officials. We need to hold them accountable for the chaos they've created and push for policies that prioritize people over profits. That means fighting for affordable healthcare, investing in education and job training, protecting our environment, and creating a more just and equitable society for all. It won't be easy. But as Margaret Mead once said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Section 9, Weathering the Storm, a message of hope and resilience. So there you have it, folks. The bad news is we're living in turbulent times, and the health consequences of government chaos are real and far-reaching. But the good news is we're not powerless in the face of adversity. By taking care of our mental and physical health, supporting each other, and demanding better from our leaders, we can weather this storm and emerge stronger on the other side. Remember, hope is not a luxury, it's a necessity, and together we can create a future where everyone can thrive, not just survive.